again, if you guys haven't watched episode number 1, please watch that before you watch this. All right, guys, we're back here, episode 2. Now, in this episode, we're going to be setting up your files and getting them organized, and so then it's easier for you to navigate through them and for better for you to understand. So what I did is I made a folder on my desktop. Last time I didn't, so we're going to go into this folder, and this is your main folder of your server. You can name it whatever you want. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a folder in here. We're going to name it artifacts. These are going to be your artifacts that you download. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to download an artifact. I think I did this last video too, but we're going to do it this video as well. So now I'm going to grab all this and I'm going to put it in my artifacts folder. Next thing I'm going to do now, remember last series you did have a TX data. So what I want you to do now is I want you to get that TX data folder. And after you get that TX data folder, I want you to just copy it and paste it in here. Okay. And what this is going to do, it's going to put everything in here that we need. So now that's in there. We're going to open up this, and what we're going to do now is we're going to just drag this out of here, okay? That is all we're going to do for now. So then inside your TX data, you just have your default and you have your admins. So then next, you can rename this whatever you want. Your server name, so server name, whatever. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, and this is going to be everything that is in your server. Okay, so this is your cache, these are your resources, your QB, and so on, right? This is your server.cfg. So we're going to open this up, and what we're going to do is I like to have it organized, so I like to delete that. And so you could do your host name. This is your server name. So when someone searches up your server, searches server name, searches the server on the server listing, and then this is what pops up when they click the server listing, that little box. And then this is the description that you see, the description that you see when they click the server listing. So next, if we scroll down here, we have all this fancy stuff right here, right? What I like to do is I like to separate it. In other words, so what we'll do is we'll go back here. We're going to just make a new folder just called config. And we're going to open up the config. And what we're going to do is we can just grab this and just go inside the config, paste it. I'm going to rename this. I just wanted to get a text Lua file, so I just took any one. Name it resources. We're going to go inside this resources folder, and we just want the resources. Okay, so we're going to delete all this. And then we're also, so then what we'll do, we'll go back to the config, and when we'll make another one and call it admins. And what we'll do is we'll copy this. We'll save the resources one. And we'll go into the admins one. We'll just paste the admins one in there. So now if we open up both of these, one will just be our resources. One will just be our admin stuff. And what that does is it helps separate tests like test servers from natural servers. And this is how you do that. So next thing is you open up your server.cfg, and when you open up your server.cfg, you're going to delete you're going to delete this stuff right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to create and execute to go to the config. So we want to go to the config, and then we want to go to the config, and we want to pick up the admins.cfg. And then we also want to, we'll select this, and we also want to pick up the resources, right? So what this helps is if you have, what we'll do is if you have a server with a test server and a prod server, you can make this your prod, and then you can make the other one. You can make two of these, make one for your test server, and then your production server. And how to change that is you go into your TX data, and you go into your config and your TX data, and then what you want to do is you want to change this right here, right? So this is the next thing we're going to have to do. This is your server data folder. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to grab everything in the resources that is inside, that is inside the resources folder. So what we'll do is I'll grab my file path, and that's the server data folder. Okay, so we'll get rid of this, and we'll do the other slashes because they seem to work better. Place these, right? So that's the server name. And then our server.cfg will be the same thing, same server path, right? But it'll just be it'll be server. Whatever server.cfg you want to use. Pretend if you're on your test server, you'd put test server. If you're on your prod, put your prod. Whatever you're on, you could do. So next we would save that, come out here, and now we got our resources folder set up, and we got our admins set up, and we got all of our things inside here. So the next thing we'll do is go into artifacts, and we will run. The black box will pop up. You will wait, and it should start everything as normal. So if I go to localhost, sign into your console, everything should load up as normal, and all your files should be good. Next thing you want to do is we're going to add a little bit twist in this one as well. So next thing we're going to do is just make a start command, which will start your server with just double clicking this batch command. So first thing we're going to do is make a text document, and you can open it with Visual, you can open it with Notepad++, whatever you want. I prefer Visual. And next what you're going to do is you're going to save as, go down to save as, and go to batch, and go to name it whatever you want. I do start server, save it. You can exit out of here. You can delete this text document, go into your start server, and the next thing you're going to do, can I open this, please? Guess I'll open it with Notepad++. We're going to, you can just write this out, echo off, and then what we're going to do is this is going to be the file path, and then plus set server profile to default. We're going to pause. Right, so what that means is you go here, copy this inside here, right? Go to your Notepad++, copy that path, that'd be your artifacts, and the FX, it needs to run the FX server, server.exe, and then set blah blah blah, and then now if you try to start it, it should start. Now every time you click that start button, it will start your server, and you can just exit it out and it will just restart your server every single time. A lot easier for everyone. Appreciate you all again. I know this is a short one, but that's how you set up your files and everything like that. Keep it organized. And yeah, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I will 100% answer them. And yeah, I'll see you guys on episode 3.